I think the Bourne trilogy was very popular because it has a very realistic feeling to it. So it's an action drama, but it's not superhero. It feels real, and when the stunts are happening, it feels very realistic. And I think it's smart, and I think there's room in the world for smart thrillers. There was no hesitation because Tony Gilroy, who wrote and directed this, he wrote the first three Bourne. So he's really the architect of the whole Bourne universe and the whole Bourne mythology. So I feel like he knows more about the Bourne world than anyone else on the planet. So I was thrilled to come on board and work with him. Also, I was a huge fan of Michael Clayton, the film he wrote and directed. So I really wanted to work with Tony. I wouldn't call it coldness. I'd call it I would call it hyperrealism. I'd say it was unsensationalized, unglamorized, incredibly real. I don't know. For me, that's not cold. That's kind of more like feels more like reportage. Like it's really, really happening. So reality to me is never cold. Reality to me is the warmest, fullest, richest way possible. I think we've seen so many films where things get so exaggerated and so over the top that. Maybe it feels cold, but I think it's hot and warm and real. That's his taste. That's his eye. That's, the tone of a movie comes from the director. Well, sometimes a movie director can't even sustain a tone that's like all over the place, but Tony maintains a tone of realism. I don't know how he gets it. That's what the director's job is. I don't know. It's a mystery to me. Instinct. It's his instinct. The stakes are very high. It's a very extreme story, which is what drama can often be about, something very extreme happening. But for me, that's my job, is to try and make it real. That's moment by moment, page by page, scene by scene. That's my job, to be real, hopefully. Yes, I think it's very, very human, relatable if you know addicts. Well, both Jeremy Renner's character and my character are completely new characters, and it's the curtain gets lifted on the first three Bournes, and you find out who was really in charge. So if you think you knew who was in charge in the first three, you were wrong. You don't know. So it's kind of seeing who the puppet master is, and I play a scientist who's working on research, a government research project, which Jeremy Renner's character is involved in, and he's sort of my guinea pig, if you like, but we get thrown together, and I can't stay alive without him, he can't stay alive without me, and turns out we both have very strong desire to live. So we both, I go from being a kind of scientist to a warrior because I want to live so much. I don't want to die. He's a tremendous, tremendous leading man. He's got danger, he's got gravitas, he's got edge, he's got empathy, he's got vulnerability, he's got the whole, he's playing with a full deck of cards. He's extraordinarily talented and a huge star, I think. I love doing all the more intimate, intense dialogue scenes with him. We both work in a really similar ways. We don't like to talk about the work, we just do it. And Tony doesn't ever rehearse, which both Jeremy and myself really like. No rehearsals, just do it. You rehearse on film. So I loved working with Jeremy. We had a really good time. Yes, although I can't really think of many other action movies that have such complex characters and such smartness and such realism. I'm not an expert in action films, but I was a real fan of the Bourne trilogy because the characters were. I'm into realism on film. I like realism, so I really like the Bourne films because of that. I mean, probably if I was going to generalize, my heart lies more with independent filmmaking, just because it's a struggle to get the movies made, and I like that. I like to try and fight for a movie, try and raise money for it, try and get a story to be made. So I like that. But to me, I like to play an interesting character or a character that appeals to me, and whether the movie costs a lot of money or a small amount of money, in some sense, it doesn't really affect my character. If there is another one, I would definitely love to be part of it. I haven't read anything, or I don't think anything's been written, but I think, it could be. The future's open, as you said.